This video aged like milk that was sitting out in a sauna. Whoops. Sorry about that, San Diego loyal supporters. Part of this feels like it's my fault. Like, I jinxed your guys' future with what I said in that video. But now it's time to shift my attention and talk about San Diego FC, aka the new punching bag in MLS. Seriously, I said this on my X account. I think it's worth repeating here. I don't think there has ever been an MLS expansion team that has been this universally shit on by everyone. Like, it's not just California residents that didn't want to see a San Diego team. It's not just MLS fans. It's like MLS pundits, MLS writers, everyone hates this team. And I know some people commented, oh, what about Austin FC? And, you know, to be honest, I did think there was a chance, like heading into their first season, that they would be universally hated by everyone just because of the whole moving the crew episode. But really, that's not what happened. Yeah, sure, there's some crew fans that still hate Austin FC just because of their association with Anthony Precourt, which totally makes sense. But once it was announced that Columbus was keeping their team and Austin was just coming in as their own expansion team, everyone else then was just kind of like, yeah, all right, whatever. Austin's fine. But with San Diego FC, this is real. Like, everyone hates them. That's the cool thing to do now. It's to pick on San Diego and Mohamed Mansour. And it's got me thinking, why is that? Why does everyone hate San Diego FC? Well, it doesn't help that this is what they came up with. What? I don't like it. I mean, I don't hate it as much as some people online, but like, it's not my favorite. It's weird because it's like some aspects are really out of the box creative, like the colors surrounding the badge and the chrome finish on the flow. But then there's other aspects that are like just so painfully cookie cutter generic. Like the name, for instance, San Diego FC. I've said it a million times. I might as well say it once more. City name, FC. It's boring. It's been done before. I hate it. But I've also just come to terms and accepted reality that this is just the direction that MLS is going. It's not healthy for me to hold my breath and hope that a new expansion team will come up with a creative name, because that's just never gonna happen again. It's kind of like doing your taxes. Like, I hate doing taxes, but I'm not gonna act surprised when April comes around and I gotta fill them out. And at this point, I could be annoyed about it, but I'm not gonna be surprised anymore about it when a new expansion team comes in with a boring ass name. The team lists chrome and azul as their colors, okay? So chrome and blue, because azul is just blue in Spanish, right? I don't get it. Why not just go with chrome and navy? I mean, you're in San Diego, you're right by the ocean, and there's a Navy base in town. That would have made perfect sense. The chrome. Well, it's unique. You gotta at least give them that much. But now here's the confusing part, because is this the badge with the shiny chrome finish? I mean, this is what we see in all the press releases, but you also have this badge without the shiny chrome finish floating around online. And I actually found this on their Wikipedia page. So I'm inclined to believe that this is actually going to be closer to what we see on the actual jerseys. To be honest, I think I dislike this one even more. The gray is way too dark and does not pop off the dark blue background nearly enough. I know, I'm probably gonna ruin my credibility here, but I gotta be honest, I dig the chrome. It's really unique. It really does stand out compared to other badges. I think they should take this other one that I found on Wikipedia and just bury it. Don't let it see the public again. Because even though that might be the safer choice, I would rather try to be more interesting and maybe fall a little bit short than just constantly going with the safe choice over and over again. And the border of it all, yeah, okay, I don't really dig that as much. I mean, any of you guys that have watched my badge rankings or my jersey rankings, you guys already probably know that I fucking hate colors fading into other colors. I just think it's such a tacky look that doesn't belong in soccer. And with this yellow fading into orange, fading into blue, it's too much for me. It's sensory overload. And blue, like, that doesn't pop off enough from the dark blue background. I could barely notice it. I think the badge would have worked a lot better had they just picked one color, yellow or orange, and made that the border of this badge instead of trying to do too much here. The shield shape represents the strength and unity of their community. Oh my God, like, Mohammed Mansour, dude, you ain't fooling anyone. Okay, you like the shape of the shield. That's all you gotta say. Now this part's kind of cool. The flow in the middle has 18 lines, I guess. I mean, I don't really know how to count them. Like, where do some of these lines begin? But according to the press release, those 18 lines are supposed to represent the 18 communities of San Diego County, woven into one. Okay, cool concept. I like how they tried to tie in San Diego, and I do love me a good abstract art badge, but it looks like a butthole. Optimus Prime's butthole, to be exact. Okay, I think that's about everything I gotta say about the branding. Now, before I move on to the next reason why people hate this team, let me go ahead and tell you about today's video sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Oh yeah, it is my favorite time of the year, the MLS Cup playoffs. Hey, I am all about pick'em. That's my game. You find the matchup, you pick the player, and you pick higher or lower. That's it. You pick between 2 to 5 players. If you get them right, you get paid. The more picks you make, the more money you can make. Simple. Just make sure when you sign up to use promo code DannyT to get your first deposit matched up to $100. Link in the description. Online or on the app, Underdog Fantasy is the game you need to play. Just make sure you use that promo code DannyT. Thank you, Underdog Fantasy, for sponsoring this video. Now, another reason why people hate this team is because of what happened to San Diego Loyal right when San Diego FC was announced. A lot of people really felt a strong connection to the San Diego Loyal branding. I mean, me personally, I always hated the name, I always hated the badge, but a lot of people liked it. A lot of people felt like it represented San Diego. And not to veer too far off the tracks here, but if you look at the NWSL's San Diego Wave, a lot of people really like that branding too, because it feels like San Diego. Like, you can get rid of the name on the badge and a lot of people will still guess, yeah, that's probably San Diego. You can't really say that with San Diego FC. What's gonna happen to San Diego Loyal? Well, they're gonna fold immediately after a heartbreaking loss in extra time at home in the USL playoffs. Damn, that is brutal. I know what I said in that video, and I'm gonna repeat it because I'm an idiot and I do actually believe it. We do live in a world where an MLS team and a USL team can thrive in the same market. We just haven't seen it yet. It's not that I'm shocked about what happened to San Diego Loyal. I mean, I always knew it was a possibility they would go under. I'm just surprised about how it happened so quickly. Yeah, I watched the Andrew Vassilitis video where he's crying and he's breaking the news that this was going to be the last season. And all I can think of was the San Diego FC doesn't start until 2025. What about 2024? I mean, I know the stadium was the main core issue here. They needed to get a new one, but maybe the financial situation was worse than we all realized. And if that's the case, then, well, the MLS team coming was the nail in the coffin, but then I wouldn't call it the sole reason as to why this team folded. I know Andrew Vassilitis said that he turned over every stone trying to make this work, but like, from the announcement of the MLS team to the announcement of the team folding, was like a few months. Like, it all happened really, really fast. Now, from everything I've gathered, San Diego Loyal did not have a massive fan base, which, you know, you're in USL, that's going to be tough to do. But while they didn't have a massive fan base, they had a very passionate fan base, a fan base that really cared for its city and for its team. And I know that's such a cliche thing to say. Every fan base will say that. But for San Diego Loyal, it truly was a little different. Like that one time they made headlines for forfeiting a match with very important playoff implications on the line because of the lack of action the league took with a player from the opposing team using homophobic slurs against one of the San Diego Loyal players, Colin Martin, who happens to be gay. And the Loyal community, for the most part, fully supported this decision. They would rather miss out on the playoffs to prove this point because Colin Martin was one of their own. He was family. And so then when a billionaire, not even from San Diego, comes in, buys a team, and essentially replaces a community that these fans have been building for years, okay, I get why that rubs people the wrong way.
Fuck you.
Now, I think the last big reason as to why people hate this team is because this expansion team was supposed to be Sacramento Republic. Sacramento Republic were supposed to be in MLS. They had everything. They had the fan support. They had a stadium plan. They were accepted into MLS. They even had a whole announcement for it. And then 2020 happened, and the owner got scared. He backed off, and he said he didn't have the money. I still feel awful for the Republic supporters. I mean, this whole time, myself and others were hoping that someone would save the day and just swoop in and buy the team and get them back into MLS. But with San Diego FC coming in, yeah, those dreams are pretty much over. Money plus viable stadium plan, unless you're NYCFC, equals expansion team. And Mohamed Mansour figured it out, and people are mad about it. But this is just such a gut punch to Sacramento. Because it's not like this was just one failed bid to get into MLS. No, Sacramento had been there. They've been working on this for a long time. People were thinking they were going to get into MLS way back in 2019. And now, it's just not going to happen. Now, the $1 million question. Is this hate justifiable? Sure. Why not? I mean, who am I to tell you what's right and what's wrong? You want to hate a team because of the weird yet still kind of generic branding, or because of what happened to San Diego Loyal, or because this team really should be Sacramento Republic? Hey, go for it. I am not going to stop you. I do not feel bad for them because this whole situation is just funny to me. The fact that no one is coming to this team's defense. Besides Chivas USA, I've never seen a team this universally disliked. I mean, usually with expansion teams, there's excitement or at least curiosity. How are they going to do? But with San Diego FC, it's just like, fuck these guys. So does this mean that San Diego FC is doomed? No, of course not. In fact, they're going to be fine. They're going to be like all the other expansion teams, and they're going to be great out of the gates in attendance. It's going to be a spectacle, and that's probably going to piss off all the other MLS fan bases even more. San Diego FC fans, I say you lean into this, okay? It's okay to be the guys that no one likes. It's okay to be the villains. MLS needs more of those anyways. Be those guys that everyone hates.